somebody. His name is Jay Johnson. He is the appointee to become the next Secretary of Homeland Security. And the reason why I want to introduce you to him is because he recently said that the path to citizenship is a matter of national security. He said that many illegal immigrants have earned their right to become American citizens now. Okay. Dennis Michael Lynch is an investigative filmmaker and the editor of DMLdaily.com. And Dennis, I wanted to get you in and first of all, tell me who Johnson is. And I mean, I'm shocked by now somebody in Department of Homeland Security saying this is national security and they earned the right to be a citizen. Who is he?
He's a lawyer. That should say enough right there. You know, what we need at DHS is a Ray Kelly type. You know, somebody with law enforcement background or a military background. And unfortunately, Mr. Johnson just isn't that. In fact, the one thing he and I share in common is we both experienced 9/11 firsthand. I'm one of the people, Glenn, you see looking up like this and running from those buildings. What he said after that day was that he decided in his life that he had to do something about it, do something to help that situation. I came away the same way. I left business and got into films. We've taken two different paths because I know that amnesty is the worst thing to protect the American people. It is the worst thing in the world to hand over legal documents to people who are in this country illegally.
We are hearing this now. We're going to hear this from the president tomorrow at the State of the Union. The Republicans are, I mean, I don't think there's anybody, and correct me if you think I'm wrong, I don't think there's a more than a handful of people in Congress that actually have the spine to stand up and say, wait a minute, guys, even if I do believe in open borders, I don't believe in free stuff for everyone. Sure, come across, work, that's great. I don't believe in free stuff for everybody. They're going to push it through anyway.
Well, Glenn, this is where the American people really need to stand up to say, I'm going to take back America. You're right. There's this many people in D.C. who have the conviction to say, hey, the rule of law means something to the foundation of this country. And basically what you're seeing is you're seeing the GOP do what it always does. It's chasing the Democrats. And they're dropping the ball because Obama, through Obamacare, gave the GOP the House and the Senate, as far as I'm concerned, in 2014. And instead of driving that ball into the end zone, what they're doing is saying, hey, let's give amnesty. If they give amnesty or legalization of any type, I promise you this, Glenn, in fact, I would bet my life on it. People will not show up to vote in 2014. They will have had it. They will have had it.
I agree. I think that I saw a report out this weekend that says for the first time ever, people are starting to say, oh, maybe it is my congressman. Maybe it is my senator. Mitch McConnell is, I mean, he's given the state of Kentucky all of the freebies, everything they've ever asked for. And now that thing is falling apart for Mitch McConnell. And I think Bevin's going to win. And I think that if people don't find somebody to vote for, they just won't go. And it will be a tidal wave for the Democrats.
You know, Glenn, I've never been a political guy. But over the last few years making my films and getting involved in politics, I decided that maybe I was going to run for Congress this go-around. Because I think real people especially with a business background, need to get in the game. We need to clean house. So I was doing one of these TV shows, and I was in the green room, and a young congressman about my age walked in, who I respect, and I said to him, I think I'm going to run for Congress out in my district. I think I could beat Bishop. And he looked at me, knowing what I do, and said, seriously, Dennis, don't waste your time. And I said, what? Why not? And he said, because you can't get anything done. I can't get anything done. You'll waste your life. You've got more power in that camera than you will if you're in Congress. And that really says something, Glenn. We need to take back our country. And the people who are in Congress right now specialize in one thing, and that's doing nothing. And it starts when you look at this amnesty, any level of amnesty. It does four things to America. Number one, it absolutely crushes the American worker. It crushes them. Number two, it creates a one-party system, and that's no good for anybody, even if you are a Democrat. Three, it compromises national security in a way that some lawyer at DHS will never understand. And number four, the part that scares me the most is that it crushes the American spirit. Because I don't know how much more Americans can take. And the Americans who don't participate in the latest Gallup poll, they're the ones saying at home, how dare you reward an illegal alien with our citizenship? You know what kind of message that sends out across the world? If you could outrun our Border Patrol, we're going to give you our greatest thing, which is our citizenship.
It is an outrage, but I'm done being outraged by Washington. I'm just looking for people in our own hometowns that will make a difference. Dennis, I thank you very much. I appreciate your time.